Welcome to GMAT Club. Today we'll be talking about how you should prepare for the verbal section. First things first, the GMAT verbal section makes up 1/3 of your total GMAT score. You get 45 minutes to answer 23 questions. Now I know, 23 questions in 45 minutes. That's less than 2 minutes per question. Well, you're right. Sounds tough. There are two main types of questions in the verbal section: reading comprehension and critical reasoning. Reading comprehension is one of the hardest sections where students struggle a lot, and this takes a lot of time to improve as well. Now let's talk about some specific strategies to improve your reading comprehension. The key to success in reading comprehension is strictly following a reading strategy and staying within time limits. Failing to do one of these will result in an overall failure. I see many test takers taking shortcuts and not following a strategy, and they pay for it with their score. So what reading strategy should you use? The one I found that works best is the same one that is outlined in the Kaplan books and Manhattan Prep guides, which is to Number 1, plan to read the passage only once. Instead of reading fast, focus on understanding first. Stop after each paragraph and summarize the main points you just read. Jot down some notes, spending 10 to 15 seconds. This can become optional later, but you should definitely try this when you start your prep. Some really smart people see these 10 seconds and think that they have found the solution to save time. What I mentioned above, do not try to shortcut reading comprehension or think you found a genius solution nobody else discovered. Yes, it does take longer, but this has a purpose. Do it. Don't try to outsmart everyone else. Ask yourself why the author included this paragraph. Is the author trying to support the point or want to argue against it? Then start attempting the questions for each passage. With this strategy, you will notice that it will take you longer to read the text, but at the same time, you will be able to answer questions much faster and virtually never go back to the text. Use this strategy to practice your reading comprehension. It is very important that you time yourself. Do not enforce strict timing, but measure the time it takes you to read the passage and answer all of the questions. You want to fit into under 9 minutes for long passages and under 7 for short. Start practicing and follow the strategy exactly without skipping steps. If you found one step hard, the solution is not to skip the hard steps, but to get better instead. Here are some points to keep in mind. Do daily practice. If you can, try doing a set of questions in a given time. Work on improving your reading speed, but never compromise understanding. It's better to read slowly and understand than to rush and miss. Make sure you summarize each paragraph in your own words after you read it. This is very important. Read books. Read as much interesting fiction as you can. You will see noticeable speed and comprehension improvement after reading about 1,000 pages, so plan on covering a few interesting books. Usually, it is impossible to hit this level by just reading news or magazines. The level of challenge in news is also much lower than what you will find in Charles Dickens or other classic books. So find a good book you like and lose yourself in it. When you read the news or a book, you can also ask yourself questions about the main idea, the purpose, and the structure of the text. Now let's talk about questions where critical reasoning is involved. GMAT critical reasoning questions are designed to evaluate a specific set of concepts and logic, and most students preparing for the test have never been exposed to these types of questions. Broadly speaking, there are 3 types of critical reasoning questions you will encounter on the GMAT verbal section. Number 1, those in which you must attack a given argument or plan called the stimulus and then find the answer choice that exposes a flaw or improves a flaw within that stimulus. Number 2, those in which you must analyze and describe the line of reasoning used within the stimulus. Number 3, those in which you must supply a valid conclusion based on the information given in the stimulus. There are several strategies you can follow for critical reasoning. The first, also the hardest, but the most effective strategy involves answering the question in your own words. This strategy was pioneered by Kaplan and Manhattan Prep in their study guides. Step 1, read the question to understand what will be your task. Weaken, strengthen, assumption. This will help you read better. Step 2, read the passage with the question in mind. Step 3, read the question again. Step 4, answer the question in your own words. Step 5, match the answer choices to your answer. The advantage of this approach is that you will be able to answer questions a lot faster as you are no longer analyzing every single answer choice, but instead matching your own answer to the choices, which is much faster and takes less brain power. It takes practice to be able to answer questions in your own words and often will not work on hard questions. The strategy requires active thinking, but everyone who has used the strategy successfully reported that they have been able to solve questions faster in under 1.5 minutes and with greater accuracy as they were not misled by trap answer choices. However, many strategies work, and if the option of answering the question in your own is not working and is too hard, you can focus on evaluating arguments, splitting them up, and analyzing each answer choice. It is also an easier method to approach critical reasoning questions, but it works as well, even if less efficient. Here are some super helpful tips for critical reasoning. Number 1, read very carefully. In these questions, every single word matters. Number 2, before you even look at the answer choices, make sure you really understand what the question is saying. What's the main point? Number 3, look for keywords that you can give clues about the argument. Number 4, don't bring in outside knowledge. Only use the information given in the question. Number 5, if a question is too hard, it's okay to make your best guess and move on. Don't spend too much time on one question. Turn your daily reading into a game. Maybe you can take an email from your boss and see if you can identify some unstated assumptions or see if you can spot logical fallacies or mistakes. Turn it into a game, but better, don't tell him about it. Practice identifying the different parts of an argument: conclusion, premises, and assumptions. When you're reading news or articles, try to critically evaluate the arguments being made. Practice brainstorming on various situations. Remember that the correct answer choice must be based on the information given in the question stem. Now, you might be wondering, how do I get better at all this? Well, there's no secret. Strategies won't take you anywhere. Only practice can. But not just random practice. You need to use the right materials. There's a great video course by GMAT Ninja and some great playlists on our channel that can help you with both reading comprehension and critical reasoning. I also recommend you check out our video on the best resources you can use and verbal secrets that you must know. Remember, every champion started as a beginner. With the right strategies, hard work, and a positive attitude, you can achieve your dream score. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. We have lots more GMAT tips coming your way. Share this video with your friends who are also studying for the GMAT. And I'll see you guys next time. Till then, keep studying and good luck.